5D Mystery School.
Welcome back to 5D Mystery School. Let's get into it. So, why do volcanoes erupt? Well, let's start off with telling you what's taught in our education system. So there are over 50 eruptions per year. Well, they teach us that the Earth is made up of 17 slabs of land called tectonic plates that make up most of the Earth's interior, and they float on superheated magma. And magma is Earth's lifeblood that floats underneath the Earth's crust. It tries to burst through the Earth's crust wherever it can, and those spots are called volcanoes. There are 500 active volcanoes. The volcanoes in Hawaii burst through a thin layer called hotspot. The vast majority of volcanoes happen on active fault lines, pictured here. The Ring of Fire holds 75% of all of Earth's volcanoes, and those fault lines are where tectonic plates meet. Typically, there are two forms the volcanoes take. First, you have your shield volcano. Now these are wide and broad, and lava slowly oozes out. Then you have your composite volcano. Now these are steeper and more violent. Now there are 20 supervolcanoes on Earth. Supervolcanoes erupt at a magnitude of 8, including Yellowstone picture here, and that was 640,000 years ago. Now this is what they unapologetically teach us in the American education system. So here's a quick theory. We have magma, which is Earth's lifeblood. So since plasma is the fourth state of matter, could plasma have something to do with magma? And could volcano eruptions have something to do with the electromagnetic spectrum? You see, not only do we have an electromagnetic spectrum above us, we also have one below us. As above, so below. And what if volcanic eruptions are directly related to the electromagnetic spectrum in the Earth? And that's why you see lightning come out of volcano eruptions. So depicted here, you have what they teach us in school. This is the Earth's structure. Mainly, I want you to focus on the crust, the mantle, and the core. Now I want you to re-envision this core, if you will, just to go along with my theory here. Now re-envision what you just saw. What if the core was actually another sun, and the Earth was actually hollow? Well, if that's the case, we'll have to rethink this. Now, do we have any clues that the Earth is in fact hollow? You know what, better yet, let me fix this. Much better. Now imagine the center has a very strong magnetic pull. And this is why compasses are always facing true north. And this is why on the map you have a geographic North Pole and a magnetic North Pole. And quickly going back to this would not explain that magnetic north. It's kind of rudimentary, prehistoric, just doesn't fit anymore. And this is why we must rethink it in order to usher in 5D. Now, what makes the North Magnetic Pole magnetic? Should we go there? "5D Mystery School, Deciphering Reality, Earth." Let's get into it. Now, what makes the North Magnetic Pole magnetic? Could it be magnetite? And pause to read a little bit about magnetite. And yes, I'm using Wikipedia for TikTok because I'm not trying to make the block hot for my actual sources. You feel me? Now you can see magnetite is a mineral and one of the main iron cores. It's an iron oxide. Now an abundance of magnetite is found throughout the Earth's core. And it's also found in you. Your brain synthesizes magnetite crystals. And scientists credit magnetite in the brain to long-term memory. Magnetite is also that black part that you see in the back of magnets. Got this one in London. Magnetite is one of the most magnetic surfaces on Earth. Now, could there be an abundance of magnetite at the North Pole? Explaining this. Continuing on. This is a magnetic pulsar, credit to Robert C. Beck. With shocking the left hemisphere of your brain, with magnetic pulses, you can unlock hidden abilities in the right hemisphere of your brain. Secret mental abilities like telepathy, telekinesis, and so on. You tap into a lower sensory detection mode. Now, honeybees, pigeons, and dolphins all use magnetite to navigate by linking up with the electromagnetic spectrum. Magnetite is also used to generate electricity in power plants. Now, the Earth's magnetic field affects our mood, our ability to learn, and also the ability to tap into psychic abilities. The cellular components of the neocortex may communicate with each other using magnetic signals. So raising your frequency and vibration is quite literal. Now, I asked you guys this question on my Instagram earlier, and these were the results. Seems like the majority of you have experienced telepathy. Now, of course, there are a lot of spiritual components to this that we are yet to understand. Now, I personally believe that people who can tap into telepathy and even telekinesis and have a strong intuition clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudience, and so on. Using this explanation, maybe you have an abundance of magnetite crystals. Maybe your brain synthesizes them faster or just more, and you got more spiritual mojo, a little bit more tapped into the ether. And of course you see things like this about the Schumann resonance, but what if the Schumann resonance are really just spikes in the electromagnetic field? And this is why it affects humans like the way it does. Because we know what happens up top with the electromagnetic field in plasma. And like we went over earlier, we know what happens at the bottom. And we know what happens with humans. So could the Schumann resonance just be a graph for the electromagnetic field, which affects your mood? And as you can see here, there's no really an explanation for the electromagnetic field. But pictured here, you can see the central sun, which may have a strong tie to the electromagnetic field. Now, if the Earth was hollow, do we have any clues to support this claim? So what really heats these volcanoes? Could it be that core, which is really a central sun? But what clues do we have? Could it be the aurora borealis? Why does this only happen in the Arctic and Antarctic regions? Like for more. 5D Mystery School, Deciphering Reality, Earth, let's get into it. Now, could the aurora borealis be a clue to the inner Earth theory? And how are they connected? Now, in a video from last summer, I explained the difference between the Black Sun agenda and the Diamond Sun agenda. How there's an unseen battle for the stargates and the halls of amity. Now, this center sun is known as the Black Sun. Simply explained, so the sun that we see here on the flat plane, when it leaves your location, it looks like this. Remember, it doesn't set. Now, could this be a reflection from the Black Sun, coming out of the entrances of inner Earth? Now, there was a video circulating that's showing what could potentially be an entrance to inner Earth. I was a bit skeptical about it when I first saw it. Maybe I still am, but let's take a look. Now, could that Black Sun emitting from the center of the North Pole be showing our aurora borealis that's reflecting off the firmament? Now, I mentioned as above, so below. Now, we have a firmament above us. Does that mean we have one beneath us? I mentioned in another video, when you pass the firmament, you're entering to space. Space is defined as a period of time, which would mean the same if we had one beneath us. Now, imagine a natal chart, a clock, and the sun and moon rotation of flat Earth all working the same and interconnected. Now, I've shown you several examples of what happens when humans meet the firmament, but here's another one that's recent from SpaceX. What about that evidence for a firmament beneath us? Now you know I got you. Roll the footage.
Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I had ever seen in the bottom of the ocean, and it was while filming for Blue Planet, was in the Gulf of Mexico. And I noticed there's something out in the distance, couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut that was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked, and there was water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of mussels. And inside the ring of mussels was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. We went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend in it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down in it. We literally bounced off, and as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane.
Wait, did he say Gulf of Mexico? The same Gulf of Mexico that had this fire in 2010 killing exactly 11 people, and then exactly 11 years later having another fire in the Gulf of Mexico? That place? The same place that's located next to the Bermuda Triangle? The one they teach us about? And as you can see, the media are going back and forth with the headlines. They can't figure it out. Back and forth. So the media couldn't get it right. And you see, this is CNN. A news source. So we can't leave it up to them to explain it to us. We have to do it because, and side note, you do have an artificial aurora borealis as well. Move it on. So people, planes, and ships have always gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle. It's a bit of a mystery. Same location where the Navy just detonated a 40,000 pound bomb. And it's along the Ring of Fire? Could it be connected to these active volcanoes? Because that Tonga eruption doesn't look like a spike in the electromagnetic spectrum. I mean, you never know. Just seems like some human tampering happening there, allegedly. So this is what they taught us. Not this, but this doesn't explain this, or this. This seems more connected to this, which affects us, would simultaneously affect the inner civilization. Like for the next part. 5D Mystery School, Decipher Reality, Earth, let's get into it. So there's nothing new under the sun, right? Actually, I don't like that saying because there really is a lot of things new under the sun. Anywho, this is an article from 1947 about Hollow Earth Theory by John Cleve Symes, if I got that name right. Pause to read. He believed the Earth was hollow and inhabited. He said the Earth was open at the poles to admit air. In 1823, he petitioned Congress to test out the theory with an expedition, but it was dropped. But he did not give up on his quest. But he was quickly silenced when the government sent out their own quest. Admiral Richard E. Byrd was in charge. Allegedly, he was sent to debunk that there was a hollow Earth, but he really didn't follow the rules. I talked about him in other videos. So if others believed that the Earth was hollow, and he actually found that it was, then an entrance would possibly be the North Magnetic Pole. Have compasses been trying to lead us the right way this whole time? I mean, how many hints does it take to get to the center? So many ancient civilizations have described this place, the city of Shambhala being one. Where did the Mayans disappear to anyway? Anywho, there can be abundance of magnetite there. Remember this thing. That thing your brain synthesizes. Magnetite crystals. But I, for one, certainly wouldn't break down all of the brain's mysterious qualities using science. But I always like to include what they teach us. Because while watching videos like this, cognitive dissonance will happen. So in order for you to connect to this material, it's better for me to start off with the foundation that majority are familiar with. So for a quick recap, using a magnetic pulsar on the left hemisphere of the brain can unlock hidden potentials on the right hemisphere of the brain, like telepathy, because your brain synthesizes magnetite crystals, which is also abundantly found in the Earth, and could be the reason we have a North Magnetic Pole, which could potentially lead you to Agartha. And that entrance to Agartha is the reason you see the Aurora Borealis. Of course, they hide it in plain sight with shows like this. So we have the inner Earth sun, and you have our sun. The sun is affected by the electromagnetic spectrum, and it looks something like this, which affects us. And when this happens, it affects this. Under this, what goes around comes around. As above, so below. So if Agartha exists, and this is the entrance, could this also be an entrance? And could that magma chamber be powered by the inner sun? Here's an article, UFO seen entering Mexican volcano, which is used as an alien city. This isn't the first time that a UFO has been seen entering a volcano. So it's all connected, really. Oh, before I go, my new lecture, Exit the Matrix Human Cloning, is available on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like, and also like and follow here on TikTok. Thanks for watching this lecture. I hope you enjoyed. I love you. Peace.
5D Mystery School.